Welcome back, it's me, King Croak of Frog Voicerton. It's part 3 of the show. We're watching Bling's Anti-SwarmHost play. And you know what I'm going to do? Go back into the game, talk about this position that we're at about a minute ago. Perfect. So Bling hasn't really been able to break in. He has some zealots doing some fanciness over here. There's a second, and there's a main base that was killed off a while ago. What is a Bling to do? He has his 2 robos churning out Colossus and War Prisms. But what I love is that Bling is not going to go for a slow mix, or excuse me, I should say a slow transition into air. He's not going to begin ticking up his Tempest count slowly. He's going to go into mass air, leveraging this 5th base that he has, where he can get 10 geysers total. I think he even adds on another Stargate in a second. Getting the air weapons upgrade, continuing to warp in, loads of zealots. I think there's 11 being warped in at a time. Bunches being warped in every which way. Because more and more Protoss can't be efficient against the Zerg in the late game. Not at all. There's no good way to go head-to-head with the Swarm Host. It makes free units. Snute does this great thing where he shoots Swarm Host and unburrows and backs up. Takes a lot of APM, but it's excellent. Absolutely excellent. There it is. There's the 4th Stargate. Big Stargate play. Continue to apply pressure at 1, 2 fronts. Nice. And, oh yeah, 3. Killed that off. So Snute, I mean, with Bling having applied ridiculous amounts of pressure, Bling has still lost way more in the grand scheme of things. Way more, because he has spent a lot of additional money taking this base and defending it. He spent a lot more additional money on things like gateways. I mean, he's spent like a freaking boatload more, and lost more. And is looking to be in way better of a position. I mean, it's 2 bases. Or, excuse me, I guess 2 bases. 2 uglily placed bases. And continuing to hurl away units. I actually want to leave this up as these battles are going on. I think he's sending in another round in a moment? Yeah. So this is what tickles me so about this play. It's not 2 Stargates slowly getting Tempests. It's a lot of damn Tempests. Yay, all the gas. All the gas. More Warp Prisms coming. Begins to get Templar to reinforce this ground force. Continues to expand. As the Warp Prism harass is weaker, we have more minerals, because we can't warp in as many zealots. So we can just get more expansions. But they do go in hand. It's a Tempest carrier army. Yeah. The Warp Prism plays will get increasingly difficult, especially with a player like Snute. And here's the danger moment. Here's what happens when you hit that critical mass of Swarm Hosts. You begin to be able to rally and just long distance eliminate these expansions with ease. Is the War Prism still here? Yeah. But suddenly we have this situation where, yeah, I mean, you can Viper Abduct, but you won't even really kill anything. And there's like so many Tempests all of a sudden. I just love it. Because, I mean, if you, as Zerg, begin to transition into anti-air too quickly, Bling can just break through and crush with 5 base, 2 robo, 15 gateway production. And be, again, inefficient, lose more than you, but just have too much stuff. And then the instant this army gets potent enough or excuse me, the instant the army gets big enough for Snute to where Bling can't really break it. I mean, this giant switch to a lot of tempests and a ton of air. I think he even has 2 carriers. There's a carrier coming in there. And we see that with everything dying, this is when we start to see Templar getting warped in instead of Zealots. And if we look at the unit count, it's 2 Zealots, 2 Dark Templar. He kept replacing his lost army with more gateway units until suddenly it was air. Now, I think the one thing that you could be concerned about as Bling is the fact that this army is not positioned here. It's not blocking the expansion, but I think Bling has a pretty good hold on it, considering he can always float over this center area. Carrier's getting made, so great. He's getting 3/3 upgrades, so great. Here's the Snute death plan. You never need to go too far. You can just get enough spores and spines and corruptors. And this is what becomes very hard about a mass air. This is the perfect encapsulation of why slowly transitioning to air can be weak, because the Zerg's going to have enough of an economy. He can easily get enough funds on these 4 bases to get a quality number of corruptors and a quality number of spores up. But when 2 get pulled and a buttload of corruptors wind up falling down, I mean, there's really not that much the Zerg can do about it. Because painfully enough, like 30 swarm hosts is about the critical mass you need to just maintain full control of the ground. So what if Protoss just abandons the ground? Look, we have 4 Colossus here, and Colossus aren't getting made up at the top. Probes are being brought out to the front. And another quick recognition. Bling is going to lose these 2 bases. And potentially you could argue that one of the only notable mistakes Bling made this whole game was not expanding here right now and taking these bases. That might be the only notable one. Other than some, nitpicks about macro and timing. Probes getting involved in the fight. With air at this ridiculous level, it's very hard for Zerg to keep up with the spore crawler production. And then soon enough, it's just 4 carriers getting produced at a time. I don't think there's too much else to say. I just think that it was really cool how heavily focused on counterattacking Bling was throughout the entire opening game, far more so than Colossus. Being aggressive, using gateways and gateway units to get in Zerg's face, slowly incorporating more whatever the heck they're called, slowly incorporating more Colossus, and then quickly pulling out and really heavily massing up the Air Force. And now we have 5 carriers and 11 tempests. And oodles of Templar. Maybe Tristan will bring Locke the dog inside and we can get some doggy time. Templar might be the only thing that Bling is sneaking in right now. Well, and observers. And the observers. Throw the storms down. Storm's really good. In combo with giant air army. And what really stinks is that because swarm hosts are so hard to build up in large numbers, if for some reason this attack works and Snute gets these 20 corruptors he's trying to build out, Bling can instantly go into a very cheap gateway army. Very zealot heavy, very Templar heavy, and just kill. Makes it look so easy. Isn't this sexy? I love it. I absolutely love it. very elegant, very suave, very boss, very cool, very fancy schmancy. And that's that. Let's take questions. Let's take questions. So, if I had to recap the broad, simple idea that Bling's working with, attack in so many different places that the Zerg feels obligated to overbuild on the SwarmHost front. And then expand a lot and boom! Kill him with the Air Force. Utoru Kyoya says, Day 9. Why did Snute stop pressuring Bling after failing to destroy his 4th base? I don't think there was... Wait, do you mean the 3rd base? Utoru, if you can reword your question a bit. I think I got confused. So Jolly Pizza says, Day 9. Would you think this is the most effective way to deal SwarmHost's Protoss? This seems really hard to pull off. I actually think it's a lot easier than you might want to give yourself credit for. The important thing is to be willing to move forward with a small army and then just run away again if you see the locusts while your warp prisms are warping in. Once you do it 2 or 3 times, you'll just be like, wow, that feels a lot more comfortable. It's really, really nice. Sweffy says, Day 9, I can see the strategy will work really well on a huge map like this, but would work on a smaller map, such as Overgrowth. I'd probably just say, yeah, the same. I mean, it'll still turn... What'll happen, the feeling you'll get on a smaller map is that you'll feel like you're losing your 5th and 6th earlier. But, I mean, getting 4 or 5 bases up and doing a lot of counterattacks and a lot of movements in the front and back and forth works great on pretty much any map. Hanudiram says, Day 9, on the last game, why didn't Protoss go for Void Rays instead of Tempests? Aren't Void Rays like better in every way against SwarmHost Corruptors? No, in the important way, yes, in general. Like, generally speaking, if you have a Void Ray against a Corruptor army, the Void Rays should beat the Corruptor army, and then you can kill the SwarmHost. But when you're getting pretty high up, you'll get players who just don't really make big mistakes. They won't move their army forward. They'll just run away from your Void Rays and endlessly annoy you. What's nice about the Tempests... Is it doggy time? What's nice about the Tempests is that they can pick off almost everything. You have lost your mind. You are so covered in water. Did he play in the faucet?
No, he got slaughtered.
Oh. Come here, Locke. He doesn't... Oh, he's thirsty. Yeah, so that's the Tempests are really good at getting guaranteed damage. You can pick off anything, even if you're against a really good player. Divine SC2 says, Day 9, what can Zerg do against the Sky Toss High Templar army? Doesn't seem much flexibility other than use SwarmHost, which has terrible mobility. Well, you see, it's... That army that Bling has is the expression of getting a really big economic lead. The real question is not how do you battle the Sky Toss High Templar army. It's how do you not let the Protoss player get to this wild economic lead. And I would say that this is the sacrifice you make if you go for SwarmHost too quickly. So you either have to have such amazing SwarmHost defense on 4 base that you can hit critical mass and push sooner. Or you have to just not go for such aggressive swarm hostage. Get more lings and hydras and roaches up before then. What do I think of Bling's decision to get 3 or 4 Phoenixes out before Tempest? I have no idea why, and it doesn't seem that good. Potentially, you could say it's to deal with a Mutalisk switch. Alright, my voice is done. I'm getting the dog. Getting the dog. Tristan, I'm going to take your dog on air.
Do it.
Hey, Locke. You want to come over here, Locke? Do you want to come hang out with me? Do you want to be on air? Come here, you big puppy. You are so covered in water. No, stand up. Stand up. Come here. I can't lift you. There you go. I want to get your rib cage. There we go. Oh. Oh, you're gross. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Oh. Ow. Oh. Alright, alright. I'm gonna the dog. No, it loves me too much. Lock the dog. Lock the dog. Oh. Oh, God. Hi. Locke, you're on air. You only have one ear. Yeah. Oh, he's a puppy. Yeah. He's cute. This is a puppy. Puppy hype. Oh my God, the side of his face got so nibbled on. It's so wet. It's such a dog. Hey, Locke. Locke the dog. Locke, do you want to bite me in the face? Oh, your paws are covered in... Oh my God, gross. Oh my God, we're gonna end the show now. Oh my God. Oh my God, gross. Oh my God.